What's going on, everybody? This is Childish. We're back at it again with another D6 video. As always, thank you all so much for tuning in. I know it's been a day or two since I put out a video. My apologies, as I've been a little bit sick. I had a sore throat, so definitely trying to recover myself before I get up into a ton of video content. But we are feeling a little bit better now, so we're going to provide you guys some insight. Today's video, we're not going to be focusing on a certain type of educational concept per se. I've taken the time to take a look at my last couple of videos, and I've been getting a lot of similar questions. So we're going to be spending a little bit of time focusing on like some of the frequently asked questions that I got, and then kind of get you all caught up on where I'm at when it comes to my account, do a little bit of arena, and then probably pop our free summon that we have with regards to the game, right? So, or with regards to what they give us here. So first question on my list is the one that is super popular here. How in the world are you 6-starring your monster so fast? So when it comes to hell mode, I am currently, I think, at Tragar, but honestly, I've been in the hell mode for quite some time, and I didn't really push through the content here. You know, one of the things that have been recommended throughout everybody is when it comes to hell mode, there's a drastic difference between hard mode and hell mode. You really need to make sure that you know, all of your monsters have the 3-star orbs, they're up there to +9, and you've taken the time to awaken a good chunk of your monsters, hopefully to that 3-star awakening, so that you can get a nice stat bonus increase to improve the overall effective HP of your monsters. Now, when it comes to you know, the fodder that you need, I know that when you first get down to the early parts of the game, you're going to have a lot of rubies, and you guys are going to do some summons. After I did probably 4 to 5 pulls that you guys have saw in my videos, I basically stopped and I took all the rubies that I've collected over the course of the time and basically invested them into keys. That plus my friendship points, I've been able to, you know, throw down anywhere from 500 to I would say 750 keys a day, maybe even a little bit more. Obviously, I think we're getting upwards of like 100 to 150 keys throughout our daily and weekly rewards. So we're pushing through a lot of keys throughout the day and night. Because again, I'm investing my keys so that I can go ahead and do all the farming that I need. That's going to get me the normal scrolls, the premium scrolls, the fodder, the evolved dragoon, and of course the orbs that we need to take that money. We sell it, invest it back into the orbs that we're keeping, plus put it into the Carol's Trial in order to get those awakening materials to get it going. When I got to the hell stage, I had 1 6-star when I cleared Silvas, okay? And then one of the things you guys will notice when it comes to hell mode is we get 5-star evolved dragoon when we clear the certain stages. So after I got through hell mode and I had the 1 6-star, I was really close to getting my second 6-star at the time. Why? Because I've stopped what I was doing on the summoning side and really pushed all the efforts into getting all the fodder. And believe you me, I'm using every single 1-star, 2-star monster that I need in order to make all the fodder, climbing my way up to get the 6-star fodder. But after I got the first 2 6-stars, I was able to push through the first 3 stages. So I was able to get the free 5-star evolved dragoon that you get for clearing hell mode. I was able to get the free 5-star dragoon for what's it called? The quest, the enhanced, the extreme growth 5. If you guys didn't see that in my previous video, the consecutive videos where you get your natural 5-stars, don't rush the process in leveling them up. If you put 20 enhancements in with 1-star or 2-star monsters, you will get a free 5-star evolved dragoon. Okay, so there is 2 5-star free evolved dragoon in each of the elements. In addition to that, at the very least, I have gotten 1 5-star evolved dragoon for with regards to my summons that you get, the daily evolved dragoons that you get with regards to your quest, the daily quest. I have been fortunate enough to get at least 1 5-star in every single one. So there's 3 of them in every single element. So you will see here shortly that I have 6. I think I have like 5 or 6 6-stars, but half of my 6-stars took no time at all because I literally only needed to create 2 5-star fodders for each one because I had so many free 5-star evolved dragoons. So don't get down if you are seeing my account and you've kind of, you know, climbed with me, kind of come along with me on my journey. You will definitely see a noticeable difference once you push through the content and get those free evolved dragoon. However, just a friendly reminder, if you are struggling on the content with regards to hell, take a step back, go in hard, do the farming that you need to do. The orbs, the percentage-based orbs, and the percentage-based orbs and the awakening are extremely important, especially once you start to 6-star those monsters, because once you 6-star those monsters, those base stats get relatively high, and you can get a lot of value out of those percentage-based orbs, okay? That was probably one of the biggest things there. So when it comes to the next question, this is the one that's going to trigger me the most. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to trigger me the most, or did already, is should I reroll? That's a crazy question that we've been getting. Now, first off, let me take you back, step back to when I got started. When I first got started and I found the Destiny 6 global Reddit, 19 out of the 20 posts up in there was should I reroll? And I was like, man, these people must be struggling, right? They're sitting there just getting 4-star, 4-star monsters all the time, and they're just not be too lucky. Well, I started pulling them up, and I realized that some of these people are pulling double or even triple nat 5s, and they're questioning if they should re-roll. Now, again, I'm not gonna take back on my own words. If you guys remember in a previous video, I did state that if you have the opportunity to re-roll, which the process is about 7 to 9 minutes, if you do some research and find some videos out there that'll be able to help you, you can do that. That's great. See if you get lucky, try to get an nat 5 and go with it. The game is extremely generous. So, if you have a little bit of time to invest into re-rolling, great, go for it. However, once you get that nat 5, boom, call it a day. Don't sit there and try to wait for the top tier unit in order to do well. When it comes to the early to mid-game content, pushing too normal, pushing too hard, you do not need the most premium monsters in the game to get through the content. You can literally do just fine with just natural 4-stars, because again, just getting the basic orbs on the units, getting the bonus sets and whatnot, you can push through the content and you won't have too much trouble. I found my later stages of hard mode and then of course moving into hell mode is where I really had to buckle down and say, let me take a look at my composition. Let me make sure I'm balanced, and so I can do relatively well. Maybe in the first part of hard mode, I started making sure that I had my healer in there. I didn't just, face roll it with damage healers and whatnot, but ultimately, you can do just fine with the majority of the units that you get. While maybe the nat 5 that you get is not like super popular, it's okay. Believe it or not, all these specific units, like other games out there, have something unique about them and that you're going to find a little bit of value of. Some of the units that is right, it doesn't seem all too good, can really shine in other aspects of the game. So don't freak out if you don't get Paper Cur, Paper Fran first pull. Like, it's okay. Again, I can't really say all too much because my first natural 5-star was Scissors Natalia, which of course is one of the better farmers in the game, a double life type or whatnot. But honestly, there were certain stages in the game where I couldn't use her because she would give me a disadvantage or whatnot. I took some of my other 4-star monsters and did just fine. Again, you just keep on working on your monsters, getting those orbs, and you will do just fine. Don't get too caught up in having the most premium nat 5s because you will get nat 5s in this game. I promise you, okay? Next one up is this monster good, or which monster should I keep? Again, kind of getting back, this basically relates to the re-rolling question. Is this monster good? Again, just kind of reiterating that what I just said. All these monsters have something unique about them. Maybe some are a little bit better than others. Maybe some have some interesting kits that are a little bit better. But however, all of them have a purpose. Whether we have seen it or not, they have a purpose, okay? And so when it comes to these monsters here, don't get super caught up in like, if it's super good or super not. Just try to, create some basic strategy, basic synergy when it comes to the team so that you can, move through the content. And then as you go, you can obviously take a step back and take a look at what some of these units that you have, their kits that they're bringing, and seeing, which ones are going to be the most valuable to me. Now, if you are reading the labels on them or reading the skills on them and are still not too sure about it, I will provide you guys a list in the YouTube description down below that has been created by Arma. And I don't know if it's just Arma himself or he has some people working in the background, but this person has provided quite an extensive lineup of information. He's basically provided a tier list for you guys so that you can go ahead and take a look at the monsters that are available and try to get a feel for, some of the things in their kits and which ones have essentially been rated higher or lower by him. And I think maybe you guys have heard this a lot, but when it comes to tier list, take it for what it's worth because, like I stated, all the monsters are very unique, and until you really get the opportunity to test them out and try them out to see how they do, you'll soon realize that you shouldn't be too focused on the concept of tier list, because at the end of the day, it's not about what you got, but making the best of what you got. And we're not all going to have the same monsters. We're not going to all have the same teams. So just taking a look at the at the list and seeing what kind of things that you should be focusing on when it comes to overall composition, paired up with what you're seeing and what these units are providing, will definitely do you some good. When it comes to which monsters you should keep, it's pretty simple. Keep a copy of all 4 stars, keep a copy of all 5 stars. Me personally, I am still keeping all my copies of the 4-star monsters because skill ups are relatively rare, right? The skilled Dragoons are really hard to get, and when it comes to skill ups in this game, you have to invest multiple units in order to skill them up really high, right? When you skill them up from level 1 to level 2, you need 1 copy of the unit. When you skill them up from level 2 to level 3, you need 2 copies, and so on and so forth. So I personally like to keep at least 1 copy, but I know that sometimes you take a look at a monster, you're like, wow, this unit doesn't look pretty good at all. Again, something that I should have mentioned with regards to the monsters good, we're looking at the monsters just kind of, at the front there, right? But sometimes if you take a second to look at the monsters and when it comes to skill ups, how do they look when you're looking at the monsters' skills at the level 3, level 4, level 5 category, you realize that, wait, you know what? They're not all too bad once you get the opportunity to skill them up here. So, just keep that in mind when it comes to some of these. I personally, especially the 4-star, 5-star category, I personally would keep all of them. I would not take a 5-star natural 5-star that's a dupe and say, oh, I'm just going to use that to get a 6-star. I know I'm going to do a little wink there, as I know there's some people out there that have used their 5 stars as fodders for the make it to 6 stars. But I personally believe that it's super hard to get the skill ups that you need in order to get your units maxed out. And I would invest all of my natural 5 stars that I can into the saving them for leveling up their skills, as some of these units are really shine when it comes to getting their skill ups. Even though you can't see it right now, Rock Francisco, you saw in a previous video, I was able to get another one. I got a dupe and I was kind of down about it, but the Rock Francisca is considered one of the best shield breakers in the game. Her first skill, the breaking aspect here, going from level 1 to level 2, provides a 100% chance of removing the target's shield. In the first level 1, she didn't have it. From level 1 to level 2, she has the AoE shield removal. And as you guys already know, we have every single Adonis out there. Everybody's using the Adonis. Everybody's using the premium units that give certain buffs. More importantly, those paper Adonises that have the Scissor Eves that have the invulnerable shield. So when it comes to PvP, I find it extremely valuable to have that 100% shield break, and I would have not had that opportunity had I didn't get the skill up here. So again, just kind of goes back to the part that we're talking about. Save those skill ups, save those monsters here. Next one up. We got some people saying that this is a great game, but I'm going to wait for it to go to global. Okay, so when it comes to this particular game, yes, it does take a little bit of an effort to go ahead and download it. For the Asia server, you have to, get the VPN. You have to, change your iOS information to Singapore to get it all set up. It does take a little bit, but I will say this. It's not as long as you think. In the process of doing the tutorial, using the VPN to the tutorial is not too bad at all. Once you get it done, you don't have to use the VPN anymore. If you guys are new to the game, in the YouTube description, I put all the information to download the game so you guys can check it out. Now, when it comes to the current state of the game, this is something that I'm going to be making a video on down the road, but I will say that my personal opinion is that we are super blessed right now to have the summoning rates that we do. And we do not know if when they do release it in the States, it will give us an opportunity, if they will give us an opportunity or not to switch servers. Now, for those of us that are playing the game already in Korea or Asia, we are going to be super ahead of the game if we get the opportunity to do it. But, hey, if it goes global or whatnot and they don't give us a chance to do it, that's fine. One of the things that I personally feel like is going to happen, again, this is just my own personal opinion, but I feel like the summoning rates down the road may get adjusted in some way, shape, or form. I believe that the summoning rates are definitely generous right now. I think they're really good. And so when it comes to the possibility of, essentially getting over to that next, getting over to that server, if we're lucky enough to do it, or the possibility of the rates getting changed when it comes to summoning, I definitely would recommend testing out this game, playing it out now, and taking the extra 5 to 10 minutes to get the VPN downloaded and set up or whatnot in order to get this game installed right now. I don't want you guys to lose out on an opportunity, and like you guys have seen, it's a super fun game, so might as well take advantage of it now while you're having the downtime, because again, the way how this game is set up, you can literally do what I'm doing right now and play the game and be able to catch up with the game and do all the farming without too much focus on while you're playing your other main game or whatever, okay? Next one up here is, what do you buy? What do I specifically buy with regards to the questions? What do I buy in the black market right now? So right now, the biggest things that I focus on, the adventure keys. The adventure keys I think are like 360. You get like 300 keys for like 360 crystals, or sorry, rubies, which obviously is a really good steal because when you spend 100 crystals right now in the game, you only get 50 adventure keys. So you get your money back pretty good. Premium 4-star and 5-star units. Now let me take a step back here. Before you guys all get caught up in it, I'm talking like the best of the best, natural 4 stars or 5 stars in the games, right? If we're talking about Paper Kur, we're talking about Paper Fran, if we're talking about Rock Julian, some of those monsters that really assist you when it comes to the content, yeah, I would make an argument for getting those if you have the rubies to get it. But when it comes to, all the other stuff right there, the legendary scrolls, the gold and whatnot, I'm really not too focused on that. Yes, the gold takes a little bit of time to farm. It's going to take some time. But if you are efficient with your Tower of Promises and you are taking the time, you're taking the rubies like I am, and, doing the farming throughout the day, you're going to get the gold back. I probably, when I go to bed and wake up, I probably sell upwards of 150 to 200,000 worth of rubies throughout the day. Throughout that night, and that's not even counting what I do throughout the day. Combine that with upwards of 200, 300,000 gold that I make throughout the day clearing the Tower of Promises. If you guys don't know, you got 3 opportunities and you get a new key for the Tower of Promises every hour. So every 6 hours, I'm keeping an eye on my device here. I can set a timer or whatnot to let me know, like, hey, your Tower of Promises 6 hours is up. Go farm. Go spend 5 minutes to clear out the swords or clear out the keys, and then get back into it. So and then wait 6 hours and get back into it. So I'm really being efficient with the way that I gain my money, and then I'm taking that efficiency of the money, putting it into the orbs and into the Carol's Trial in order to get the awakening materials, and to invest in making my monsters better. So it's just kind of going back and forth with that process. You're going to be able to really push through the upgrading of your monsters in order to again move through the progression here. Getting back to the black market question, the superior scrolls, I have bought those. You guys have seen me. I think there was like a 3-pack there for 600 rubies. I got those, and then outside of that, those were the big things: the adventure keys, the superior scrolls, and the 4-star units. I think they're like about 1,000 rubies. And again, we're talking the super OP units that are out there. And then the 5-star units, if they were super OP, I probably get it if I have the rubies. I don't have the rubies, so again, but again, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. If a Paper Curl lined up in there, congratulations, Netmarble. Okay, congratulations. You're gonna get me to swipe my Visa. Okay, like it's the unit's so broken right now. I have to take it. Like I have to take that unit, right? So that's kind of where I'm at in the black market. And before I get into the rest of the questions, all these particular things that I'm throwing at you, if there's one thing that I've been super blessed about, and this kind of gets into my next question, I guess I'll just kind of lead into it. I need more advice, right? I'm asking questions and I'm maybe not getting all the answers that I want, okay? The Reddit is a super useful tool. I would definitely check it out there. Again, once you get into Reddit, a lot of people are providing questions and getting them answered, and then there's a couple of different things that you can use on the side in order to educate yourself when it comes to this game. There's a beginner guide, there's a tier list. There's a lot of great stuff in there. However, I speak on behalf of YDC by myself. We are super blessed for the people that have been playing on the career server, for the people that have been able to invest more time into the game. We have a lot of OP cats in the chat down below, in the comment section down below. If you check back on some of the content, you'd be surprised as to how much good advice people have left in the comment section when people have asked certain questions here. I got to give a big shout out to one of my subscribers here who, heard on one of my videos here. I was sitting there at Tower of Promises 56 and haven't, pushed through it. And he actually made a video in my last video. If you guys look at my last video, you will see a link with the Tower of Promises 56. And I have confirmed that it is legit. It's not a, trolling or anything like that. He shows how he was able to clear it. So, I mean, that just kind of goes to show the support that we're getting from the D6 community, the great info, that has been provided with the people that have spent more time. So again, big shout out to all you guys out there. You guys know who you are, giving some great feedback on the game to help me out. There's been a lot of things that I've learned in the game because of you guys. Next question is, I think has already kind of been answered, but again, we've been kind of getting a little bit. I just hit hell mode. What should you focus on? Chances are, if you just hit hell mode, congratulations, but your orbs or your awakening of your premium monsters are probably not where they need to be. So, you know, take a look at your account, you know, really analyze it, and be open about it. And if you're not sitting there with the 3-star percentage-based orbs and, at least, a couple of those stars awakening, maybe 1 to 2, 2 to 3, I would definitely work on getting that done, as once you start getting the 6-star units there, you will see a nice little boost in the overall stats if you have those percentage-based orbs to back it up, okay? And the last but not least, when it comes to the questions here, will you ever stream Destiny 6? So, if you guys didn't know, I don't know if you've heard. I know that everybody on my stream that's generally hanging around on there. In the current part on Twitch right now, I'm a Twitch affiliate, and I've been basically my next goal for 2018 is to get to the point where I'm a Twitch partner. So obviously, there's a couple of different perks, different emotes, and some things that I can do for my subscribers out there on the Twitch, and that's kind of what I've been working for. But of course, naturally, Twitch has their little analogy or the things that they analyze in order to accept somebody from affiliate to partner. And one of the biggest things is the consistency of your viewers, consistency of your streams, making sure you're doing them on a regular basis, and of course the viewership has to be relatively high. Seeing that this is a relatively new game that people can only take advantage of if they decide to download it. Anybody can play it, but they have to do a little bit of work to get it. The viewership kind of across the board when it comes to streams for people out there is still relatively low. However, if people are interested, I mean, if I find myself, if I have people that are truly like, hey, you know what, dude, I would gladly support you. I would gladly hang out on a stream. If we can spend some dedicated time on D6 and get a couple of questions answered, then I definitely would be up for doing that. But naturally, when you get into streaming and you focus on one game for a few years and then you switch over to a game and stream on that, obviously the viewership is going to be a little bit down. So if you guys are definitely down, if you guys think that the D6 stream is something that you really want to see on my channel, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hop on over to twitch.tv/childish402. Give me a follow and hit that notification bell so that when I go live, you can go ahead and see when I go live, so you can hop on and hang out. Even though I don't have it showcasing, right now, I generally will have I will be playing, my normal regular game, and I will actually have a secondary game. I can even show you here. I don't know if it's going to show up on the screen, but I will generally have, Summoner's War over here and then D6 over here, and I can swap them, as I see fit. So no matter what stream that I'm doing, fail, I forgot to go back to the regular one. No matter what stream that I'm doing, I have no problem, you guys throwing out some questions and getting them answered here. That's what I'm here for. It doesn't matter if I'm doing Summoners War or not. You guys are more than welcome to stop on by and ask any questions that you want, okay? But here's the deal. When it comes to dedicated streams, the support definitely needs to be there, and there needs, for me, there has to be a great amount of support, because again, the process of getting into the partnership is pretty hard, is in my humble opinion. And so I would really have to see a kind of pretty big boost in the followership and the notification people, get into support, so that I can make an argument to say, you know what, I should put a little bit more emphasis in the D6 and see what what kind of where we're at as far as the viewership and the support we have on that end. Now, again, if it doesn't happen, it is okay. I'm totally fine with keeping on, streaming Summoners War, and you guys can always stop by so that I can give you guys some content. But either way, don't ever feel like you cannot ask a D6 question if I'm doing Summoners War. I will gladly help you, okay? But you know what, guys? I think that is pretty much it when it comes to my list. There's really not too much to do. So what we're going to go ahead and do is take a quick second to finish up this run, and then we're going to bounce onto some arena. My last natural 6-star that I got as of recent was, that you guys saw in the video, was Scissor Yanuk. Now, again, as you guys know, I was super excited about it because he has a really interesting kit. He has the lifesteal, he has the hit point, recovery band, which is obviously really, really good in PvP. But the more important thing is this damage reduction by by ally heroes by 20%. And as you guys already know, I have Paper Eve, so I can use both Scissor Yanuk and Paper Eve, combine them in the regular scenario stages in order to get that 35% bonus, as Paper Eve gives 15%. And it's really, really nice because they stack. But when it comes to PvP, I'm obviously going to be using them. You guys already know that the paper meta is out of this world. Everybody's playing around with their paper curves and their paper friends. So I've been doing different compositions and playing around with, generally using Scissor Yanuk with either the rock or paper friend. And then if I'm using paper friend, I'm throwing in Soho to help out with the DPS. But if I'm not using paper friend, I'm using rock friend because of the fact that she has the shield removal and I'm dealing with a lot of Adonises. I will be using Carlotta. Carlotta, I've been putting in a lot of effort into leveling up her skills. You know, Carlotta has been, some people in the community have said she's pretty broken considering how strong her first skill is. It originally started out with what, 200, all ally skill cooldowns by 10%. And now I got him at level 4 here. It's at 260% for 13 seconds here. So when it comes to PvP, I may not be fortunate enough to have all my skills at a 1-up, but if I do get this skill up, if this one's up, I can push it right away and be able to get up all my other skills really, really quickly here. When it comes to the striker one, I've been using a couple of different combinations. I've played around with, obviously you guys have seen, I played around with Shaolin. I've played around with Natalia. I play around with Luna sometimes. I got a couple of different units and heroes that I use, but for the most part here, since Shaolin has the status activation bonus for the rock, I pair her up with Rock Fran quite a bit. I really like that combination here. I've been messing around with that and doing relatively well considering what has been thrown at me in the meta here. So let's go ahead and give you guys a couple of matches here. Let's see how we do. All right, here we go. First match. Actually, we run into a rock person running the Rock Helga. If you guys don't know, Rock Helga has a status resistance and a bleed on here. So that's pretty interesting. I'm going to go ahead and knock them down and get a little bit more value out of my second skill. When they're disabled, I get the defense break, but I'm allowed to ignore the defense here. So looks like we unfortunately got stunned. I don't know if that's no, that's not a paper card. I don't know who is locking me down with that stun here, but it's definitely hurting here. We did get the recovery band, so they're not able to heal, but we did a ton of hits on them. So they were able to get, oh, I didn't even see, sorry. I didn't even see Shaolin. I should probably let it auto just in case I forget. But we did quite a bit of damage there. And with regards to that hit point recovery band, I don't think they had a healer in there. But, when we get to that, halfway part of the map or halfway part of the fight, I've really enjoyed having either, like I said, Scissor Yanuk in the leader skill or using them in the striker as well. Because the HP band is pretty strong considering what people do. Here we go. So I didn't see an Adonis in this lineup, or did I see an Adonis here? I'm just going to go ahead and knock him down right now and get that defense break in if I can. There's the defense break. We're setting good. So we're going to do a couple of hits, and now we have that recovery band. So I did my heal just for the simple fact that I got my cooldown acceleration coming up here. I think I was a little bit too early on the heal, but that is okay. I'm going to go ahead and get these AoE hits in as Scissor Yanuk, if you didn't know. The first skill allows you to, it gives you a little AoE life tap here, so it kind of has that Natalia feel. Gets multiple hits here. Now we have a little bit of an issue here. Our main skill is down, so unfortunately we don't have to use it because our main skill on Rock is down, Rock Fran is down. We don't have to use it because, by the time it was available, his other skill was down. As you guys have seen before, we've talked about here, Shaolin. If I'm fortunate enough to lock him down with my striker skill, the silencing and the blind, it's really hard for them to come back. When they can't use any skills and they miss 40% of their auto attack, it really hurts them. And I'm a big fan of the crowd control aspect here. So now we're in a good situation here. We got the lead, scissors over paper there, paper gunter. Paper gunter is a beast, so we might have a little bit of an issue. Can we get fortunate? Ooh, we did get fortunate with regards to our acceleration skill. So let's go ahead and try to get the knockdown. We missed the knockdown, unfortunately. So I'm going to try to get the defense break in if I can. We were able to do it. Now we got the hit point disturb on there. And so we're doing pretty good. We're stunned though. And I think Paper Fran hasn't done her main skill. So we might be in a little bit of a situation. But again, we're going to try to knock him down. Weren't able to do it. So Looks like they got a Tao Kai that can go ahead and break, but didn't. I don't think he crit. If he critted, he would have gotten a bonus. So that's good on our end. We were able to kind of evade that. But man, we just got a big hit here that really sets us back. But it looks like we were able to get once. I think we got 2 out of the 3 monsters silenced and blind, and one of them resisted, I think, the silence here. So even though the striker didn't really help all too much, if we had a little bit more HP, we would have been fine. We wouldn't have had too many issues. Looks they're running a Scissor Tassia. Now, funny enough, I don't even remember what she does. So this is going to be interesting. I haven't seen her too much in the lineup, but they got a Paper Cur and they got a Rock Yona. So we got ourselves in a little bit of a situation here. Obviously, we cannot heal because you guys saw they got the recovery brand super early, and my skill wasn't able to. Oh, I was able to get the buff removal on that one, so that's good. That's good. Let me go ahead and heal it up. This one's going to come down to the Shaolin, I believe, trying to get that heal. Or sorry, trying to get that blind and that silence in order for me to do it. But we are in a little bit of a trouble here. We just got shocked, which I believe interrupts our units and does a little bit of damage per tick. But we did get a blind. We missed the silence, unfortunately. That's going to hurt a little bit. So I'm going to try to get the knockback here. Wasn't able to do it. That's unfortunate. But again, our acceleration skill is up. So we're going to be able to move right through it here and get the heal. Let's go here. And the life tap ability should be up. But we didn't get a lot of heals here. So let's go ahead and try to knock him down. We got the knockdown in. Our defense buff should be up. Our defense break should be up. But man, they've already generated their strike once again. We're getting a lot of hits in there. So that's unfortunate. But holy cow. Come on, Yanuk. He's giving us a little heal. Give us the heal. Oh, we got him. We got him. Okay, so I'm pretty happy about that. I'm pretty happy about that right there. They had a Rock Yona. They had a Paper Cur. They had the Scissors Tassia. And I think they're running the Paper Gunter in the lineup here. So again, it's super cool because I think these guys had the better team. But we had the Scissor Yanuk running in there. We had the 20% damage mitigation, paired alongside some crowd controlling abilities by Shaolin. I think it kind of helped us mitigate a little bit of that damage that was coming. And then when they had their skills, they were able to kind of combat it. I feel like it's going to be, I think we're going to get lucky for a 4-star. I don't think it's going to be a natural 5-star, but we obviously got to pop it because we never know what it's going to be. And right now with the Julians, the extra Julians that we could possibly get here, I would gladly take a Julian right now. Okay, so let's see how we do. Can we get a 4-star one time? Let's get a 4-star. Let's get greedy here. Unfortunate. All right. So we did get the 4-star, but we did get some fodder so that we can use. But it's all good. So that's going to be it, guys. Thank you all so much for your support. If you did find this video useful, please feel free to hit that like button, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care.